His first foreign visit, showered in gold and honors. It was clear President Donald Trump appreciated his welcome in Saudi Arabia. He even danced. Just 2 weeks later, a Saudi-led group of 4 nations moved to blockade Qatar. The president tweeted his support for Saudi Arabia, while his cabinet tried to calm the situation. On June 9th, U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said this.
We call on the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, and Egypt to ease the blockade against Qatar.
But just 1 hour and 21 minutes later, the president claimed credit for what was happening, publicly contradicting his Secretary of State and his own staff who had said the U.S. wasn't consulted before the blockade.
I decided, along with Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, our great generals and military people, the time had come to call on Qatar to end its funding and its extremist ideology in terms of funding.
Reports suggested Tillerson was furious and made his objections clear to the president, who has from that day largely remained silent on the standoff. Since then, Tillerson has made the crisis his to solve, with a quick trip to the region where he conducted shuttle diplomacy. The U.S. thought they had found a solution when Qatar signed a memorandum of understanding with the U.S. to combat terrorism financing. That wasn't enough for the blockading countries, but Tillerson has made it clear he doesn't want this to drag on, so he is sending an assistant secretary and retired General Anthony Zinni to the area.
There's only so much you can do with telephone persuasion.
Former U.S. Ambassador to Yemen, GERALD FEIERSTEIN, says General Zinni is the ideal mediator.
He's a man with tremendous experience, knowledge of the region, knowledge of the key players, and so hopefully with sustained attention from the U.S., along with the efforts that the Kuwaitis and others are making, that we will find a path forward.
The Qatari foreign minister is not only relying on the U.S., he's also been to the United Nations, which Qatar could turn to increase the pressure.
There is a role for the Security Council and for the General Assembly and all the United Nations mechanism.
Ambassador FEIERSTEIN says he doesn't believe the U.S. will let this drag on for much longer.
Everyone's going to be in New York in September for the UNGA. I would hope that maybe by that point you would be able to see light at the end of the tunnel.
Here at the State Department, it's clear that Secretary Tillerson has invested a lot of his personal capital into trying to find a solution. The longer President Trump stays silent on the issue, the more likely it is the sides will be willing to find a way out. Culhane, Al Jazeera, Washington.